Hello, possums. Good to see you, intrepid viewers. Doesn't it feel different? Hasn't a wave come over us in the best possible way? It's just thrilling. And Tim Walz is such a brilliant addition to the ticket. And he's a teacher, as his wife was for many years. So, as we know, old teachers never die. So he's a man after my own heart. And you've just got to love it. And now the rallying cry at the Harris Waltz events. This is what democracy looks like. Yes. And he made a very good point, amongst other good points. And he said they, meaning Trump and MAGA, stole our joy. So, and people are over it. They've now got such a distinct, crystal clear choice. Do you want to vote for a narcissistic sociopath, multiple bankrupt, convicted sex predator and fraudster, or not? Would you rather someone else? All right. And meanwhile, the Yeti is flailing. You wouldn't want to be in a 20-yard radius of the Yeti at this point, because we know it's never his fault, it's your fault. He'd be hell to be around. One shouldn't take joy in other people's misery, but look, really, it was a long time coming. We've got to release. Okay, so things to look at today include Giuliani. Let's just start with Rudy Giuliani, America's ex-mayor, ex-everything. It's been decreed he can't go bankrupt. But we also know he's got creditors up the wazoo. And I'm sure we're all a bit worried, will Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss get a decent payout? I don't think anyone thought they'll ever get the full amount that were designated, because he doesn't have that much money. But will they get something? So they're lined up there behind the legal teams and the other things he hasn't paid. So let's have a look. Giuliani's finances, and will those two women, imagine being forced out of your home, subject to the worst possible unfair abuse. Let's hope, but let's have a look. Giuliani and his payouts to people. Let's have a look. All right. They're working on it. Oh, that's funny. All right. Now the judgment's come down. Sorry, Mr. Giuliani, no, you can't run and hide. They're working on who's going to get the money. And I'm not sure how the US system works. Is it the first cab off the rank gets their share and then what's left, or is it proportional? You're owed this, you'll get X% in the dollar or whatever. They're doing the actual calculations here. He's very emotional. Well, drunks are emotional people. Even people who start off their drinking lives as happy drunks or angry drunks or, ultra social drunks, whatever, they all end up as sad drunks. So this is the emotions pouring out, right? Absolutely pouring out. He is wounded. His days as the King of Pentacles are well over. Look, he better repair some bridges with his kids, or he's going to be stuck in a basement somewhere. I really think it's going to be that bad. Here's the death card. He might not live to see all these judgments, but this is rarely literal death. It's more the end of the lifestyle of the King of Pentacles. Put it on my bill, you know. Those days are gone. So with this, I'm going to pull another couple of cards. Will they actually get anything significant? The two women, Ruby Freeman and her daughter, Shamos. James. Let's have a little look here. I want to see some pentacles. No. Oh, okay. Mixed. Mixed in the sense, nah, they're going to be robbed of their rightful payout simply because he doesn't have enough money to go around. If you're going to be that repulsive and vulgar and awful, you better have the money to pay out, and he doesn't. However, they also get the World card. And this means, I think, people understand they can identify with these two women who were working to do the right thing in a civic capacity, and look what happened. So yes, the world, i.e. me as an Australian, and many others know their names and what's happening, but it's bigger picture. This card trumps this card. So I think there might be an interim judgment. Sorry, there isn't enough money. And then something bigger, pressure from the outside, bigger pressure to do the right thing with the World card. I like that. It's better than nothing. Better than nothing. Now, as part of this whole change in the zeitgeist, it's absolutely fascinating. And someone pointed out, a commentator somewhere, and Trump never talks about the Republican Party. And I thought about it, I thought, no, I have never heard the man mention Republican Party, vote for us. It's always me, vote for me. He's completely detached from the Republican Party machine, who have done their best to bend the knee and kiss the ring for the last 8 years. And he doesn't even know they're there. For him, in his internal Yeti world, it's just him, right? And I thought that was an interesting observation. And in the same article, it said behind him at his most recent rally, he normally has MAGA signs and things, and he had the Mar-a-Lago Club logo. That's how individualistic he is. He's even, I think, forgotten MAGA. I mean, we're witnessing a breakdown. And I have said for the last however many years, no, he won't go to jail, but there'll be some public breakdown and he'll end up in some facility, I think, with compulsory psychological evaluation, etc. You know. But his sentencing is coming up, so you might get an ankle bracelet out of that. But things are not going well for the man, you have to think. And JD Vance, he's so bad. That's why I'm smiling. Happy face, happy face. He's so bad. Some pollsters were saying that they've had to invent a whole new category describing how unpopular he is. Like basically it's a category of being underwater. Because MAGAs don't like him because he dared to marry a non-Anglo, right? No one likes this man, and he's currently -9. -9 in this brand new category. He was -6 a few days ago, now he's -9. Now, before we move off that, since I spoke last video and feeling a bit sorry for Usha Vance, his wife, people have contacted me, and apparently we don't have to feel sorry for Usha. She's chosen to be right-wing in her own right, and apparently she was an article clerk or in some legal junior capacity for Brett Kavanaugh and Justice Roberts. So she's been in the bosom of the vipers by choice all this time. So good luck, Usha, because no more sympathy. Okay, so Jenna Ellis, this is the juicy one. So this is the Arizona case where I think there are 13 of them or some huge number about the fake electors. And the first guilty plea by a woman, her surname's Pellegrino, I think she's actually actively pled guilty for a plea deal. And so has Jenna Ellis. So she's walked away from 9 counts. Can't say I'm altogether thrilled about that. However, that's how the system works. And that means because they're serious counts, she has to come up with the goods and she has to testify. And she was in the room for a lot of this stuff, including the Mark Meadows stuff. So she has the potential to sink Mark Meadows. And I want to see now the impact of her testimony. So that means the other 11 better get moving, because you know how these plea deals work. The first ones get really good deals, less good deals, no more deals. So I want to see the impact of Jenna Ellis flipping. What's the impact of that? What's the impact of that? What's the impact of that? Okay. The Jenna Ellis story. Oh, the Justice card. I love it. Oh, a very rare reversal. Oh, dear. Look, I'm sorry to break the news, Pet, to Jenna Ellis. Not really. Okay. First card, like I said, justice. No wriggling out of this one. King of Cups and Four of Cups. Now, King of Cups is often my Biden card, but none of us believe for 1 minute he's actively interfering in these cases. One, because he does have an ethical relationship with that, almost too much in some ways, but I think it's more turning up. I think this is her actual father. For those learning tarot, the King and Queen of Cups can often be the parents, and I think it's a devastated father. She's taken a deal she didn't want to take. I think with this, I think she'd have to be grateful she was offered this deal. There's the hand offering her the deal. She should be grateful for that. But she knows what this means. And that means you are going to be condemned by these heavyweight Republicans forever. Well, never mind, love, you can get a job on Fox. This is a burden to her. Oh, really? These people have no gratitude, do they? No, she sees testifying as a burden. Two of Pentacles balancing. I got a very rare reversal. Not balancing very well. Keeping the balls in the air? No, I think Jenna Ellis is going overboard. She's created this situation. She was an active player. She created a situation, and now the only way she can get out of her bonds with this Eight of Swords, normally it's developing your more intuitive, esoteric self. But in her case, the castle in the background, she has to topple the castle. 0. I should call this video Zero Sympathy. Another one, Sympathy 4. Okay, so that will impact severely on what's going on. Now, we've got to also look at the Yeti received, this is back in the day, maybe 2016 or something, or when did Barr become the Attorney General? So it was around that time because there was a paper trail that I'm going to say Egypt, but I don't know if that was the government of Egypt or a billionaire from Egypt or what it was, but 10 million or billion, I think it was only million. Yeah, it was million. $10 million made its way into the Bino's account. Bino is billionaire in name only, if you're new to this channel. 10 million. And there was supposed to be an inquiry because it was found, it was exposed, and Bill Barr knocked it on the head. But now the case is active again. Now, given that he's the ultimate lame duck now, let's have a look at Bill Barr because so far he has skated and he abused the role of Attorney General. He killed 2 years' work in the form of the Mueller report in a couple of sentences. Then he went round the country saying how terrible Donald Trump was, and then went on the right-wing channels and said, even though he's terrible, I wouldn't vote for the evil Democrats. Talk about having your cake, eating it too, and spitting the crumbs on the floor. What a disgusting human being. And I want to know, what's in the works for Bill Barr? Because as I understand it, by squashing the Mueller report, squashing this, it's not actually illegal because attorney generals have so much power. Merrick Garland, are you listening? And it's a bit like presidential immunity. I don't see him getting into trouble for that. So is there going to be something else? Because I love this at the moment. Pluto, that all the astrologers have been warning us about, digs out the dirt. And that's often an uncomfortable process, but it does go deep and bring it to the surface. So is there anything in the wings that's going to really bring Bill Barr undone? This is for my personal satisfaction. I hope you guys are interested in it. Because he's just swanned off into the sunset and he's had an opportunity to redeem himself like Michael Cohen and all the others, and actually he could be batting for the other side now. Interesting turn of phrase. But he's chosen not to. So Bill Barr, what's in the pipeline for Bill Barr? Bill Barr. Now, yeah, he has a choice. Exactly my point. Okay, now with him, he's at a crossroads here, Two of Swords, whether to speak about this Egyptian money, because that's how I started this conversation. I think that's what this card is talking about, but he also might know of other sources of money that he so far hasn't disclosed. I think this is a legal attempt to speed things up on Bill Barr with this knight. But look at this, 5 of Wands, things in a circle. No one wins here. It just goes round and round. That's reinforced by the Hangman, things not happening quickly. But this Page of Wands brings a message about the truth and direct, no-nonsense communication. Okay. That is still ahead of us, if you like. So I quite like this message about money and a message about, this is about ethics, identity, all these things. I think he has more dirt on the Yeti. He doesn't want to use it because he's naturally gutless. but I think his hand might be forced with these legal eagles coming into the fray. He should be disbarred, if nothing else. Appalling creature. Appalling creature. Now, just let me check my notes here. Jasmine Crockett. How much do we love Jasmine Crockett? And did you see during the week, again, talking about Kamala being described as a DEI hire, like as if you can work for 40 years in that capacity. Jasmine said, DEI stands for definitely earned it. Okay. So I've got a couple more things I want to talk about. One was the Secret Service. So après the shooting attempt, well, the failed assassination attempt, there's been investigations into that. The local police have produced footage where they said to the Secret Service high head honchos, you should do something, make sure you've got people over there because of the sight lines of that roof. You can't see from here. You need to have people over there. They're talking about that stuff and they ignored them. Right. So let's see where that ends up, because we want the Secret Service or the special security or whoever they are who look after these guys and women to be in tip-top condition for looking after Kamala. So that's the only reason I'm bringing that up. Now, it's still so thrilling, isn't it? You know, you've got Tim Walz. And what have they got? They've got Hulk Hogan with Botox. I mean, the comparison is, they must be freaking out. They have to be freaking out. Okay, so what I'll finish with today, a couple of things. I'll pull some cards for you guys. I just wanted to remind you all, I'm not taking new bookings for readings until September now, because if you're already booked, don't worry, you're in the system. It's fine, but I'm not taking new bookings now, and I'll tell you as soon as I am, for sure. But also, it's really important to be vigilant with all this euphoria of you, because we know the GOP will stop at nothing, right? They will pull out mailboxes, they'll refuse to certify numbers, they won't submit tallies, they'll do everything they can to sabotage this election. So it's really important to be on your toes and assume nothing. Check your registration, encourage family and friends, if they're blue, to check their registration. Talk to your local polling office people what has been put in place to guarantee the integrity of your election. And particularly if you're in red states, you might not get a direct answer, but it lets them know people are watching. And that's why all this Arizona stuff is so important, because the rest of the 11 are looking at jail sentences, and it's happening now. So we'll hear more and more and more about this stuff, which will remind people, do you really want to go to jail for this man? Because that's where you'll be going, right? So I think it'll be such a massive difference in votes, it'll be fine, but assume nothing, be vigilant. Really be vigilant. And encourage someone else to vote. A lot of people just think they'll leave it to everyone else. Really hold someone's hand, you know, to make sure they are registered, offer to go with them. If they're submitting early, make sure you know the exact date in your state that it has to be submitted by and all of that, all right? And that maximizes your vote. So let's have a look now. Cards for intrepid viewers. Advice from the universe for intrepid viewers. Have a look. So exciting. Let's have a look. There it is. Oh, well, I'm quite excited. Okay. Now, you guys need each other. This community is really important. And the communities where you live. And if you're a blue dot in a red sea, you might need to start your own online community or whatever. But the key is pulling together. Love that. Respectful exchange. This is what we need more of. Now, Page of Pentacles, this is focusing. Remember, Pentacles is about money and also values. So this is now looking, she's looking very carefully at the Pentacles, the values represented by Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and how to make this grow. What is your role in making that grow? Everyone's up against the devil. So in modern tarot, the devil, it's about, I've got into the habit from Hogarth, covering the nudie bits in case the algorithm spins out. Okay, if it's personal, it can be about if you have any particular compulsive sort of habit. I mean, that might be drinking, might be drugs, might be just bad relationships, but any negative thinking that is holding you back, this is a good time to release from it. Don't care about the algorithm. I'll show you the chains, right? See, the chains are loose. This is a time. This could also mean conversations with people can illuminate other people taking off their chains. You see what I mean? 2 months ago, even a month ago, you could have spoken to that person. I'm just MAGA and that's how it is. And you're all radical lefties and all this stuff. Now that conversation is worth having. It's like they're crying out subconsciously to take off the chains because no one wants to be chained to the loser. And the other card for you is whoosh. It's so fast now, 90 days, whoosh, 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 whoosh. But I'm loving that. And it's got a blue sky and a blue wave. So it's coming. So your job is to ask yourself, how can I communicate with people? What's my role in making it grow? And give yourself a break from this. Encourage other people to break from it and go for it. Love it. Okay. See you next time. Take care, guys. Ciao, 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 ciao. And don't you love the couch references? Oh, apparently it was a hoax. He didn't say in the book about having sex with the couch in a rubber glove or whatever it was. It's actually a hoax. But considering it's out there now, bye.